ignore my very messy hair. I'm gonna attempt to somewhat fix it, but I doubt we're gonna. Okay. So I figured I would film because I really want to film right now. And I am gonna be giving you some fun little well, not really behind the scenes because I'm not doing anything with the music video right now. But some fun little information about it and you get to know. First up, I wanted to expect something different than what you get from me. That, I'm gonna say that because, don't expect what you usually get from me. Yes, my personality was gonna be there, and that's great. But I am pushing myself with the music video. I'm gonna take some risks, trying to do some new things that I'm not used to doing. And I'm just gonna hope that it works out in my favor and does really good. Because I'm gonna be trying a bunch of new things. And so obviously one thing is that some of the choreography, some of it's gonna be improv and some of it is gonna be planned out. And right now, every hour, I'm watching this video that I made and sent to a couple of my dance teachers / one of them is a substitute dance teacher, and I'm getting their opinions. One of them replied to me, gave me a few corrections on it, 2. And they're really easy to fix things also. I feel like it's not one of those things that I have to work on too much. Just retaining the choreography. And I'm trying to make myself I eat, breathe, sleep, just dance. I'm trying to physically make sure I know this dance. In and out, backward, forward, side. I every ounce of it, know it perfectly, and do it amazing. And it's really hard because with the music video, I kind of didn't give myself a ton of time to work on it. Literally what happened was the other day, I kind of want to go ahead, pick a date or a day for me to be fully ready and for me to post it. Because the reasoning is because I knew right after I posted my last music video, I wanted to take a little bit of a break and then work on music again. And the break, give me 1 saying this is growth, but we already know I'm growth. So, yeah, considering the fact that I basically wash my hair twice a month, and I'm not joking. We're lucky if we even get that much from me. And please don't unsubscribe. I'm a hot mess, and that's okay. But the break was because at the time I was so focused on my career and stuff to the point where I'm like, I just need a little break. I needed a little break. I need a week or two to not focus on music as much, take the music out of things that I was focusing on just for 2 weeks and try to enjoy life a little bit, and also if I could get family time in there, then I was gonna get family time in there. And so, yeah. So that's what I did, and then I started working on a song, and then I went back on it because I was going to continue working on it. And I went through it to see what I had, because it had been a couple days, because I was just slowly going back and making that slow transition back to music. And I liked it. I thought it was okay. It wasn't really me. I felt like, yes, if someone were to do something like this, I would be like, that's great for them, that. But I felt like the song kind of didn't match up with my personality and my skill level. I felt like with the song, it kind of made it weird, when I was trying to come up with the music video and the dancing and choreography, it kind of just seemed like everything that came to mind was either really simple, easy stuff that stuff that 2-year-olds learn and dance stuff stuff for really, really little kids that are just starting out and just learning dance, or just people who are just now starting to learn dance, not necessarily little kids. So it was very beginner baby stuff is what came to mind, and I'm I also wasn't the biggest fan of the song. It was okay, it wasn't terrible, I didn't hate it or anything. It just wasn't the greatest, and also I just kind of felt like there wasn't really anything that related to me, or there wasn't really any bit of my personality in it. Then so that was so luckily I didn't have too much done, so I was able to just start on a whole new song. Did that, and it ended up, I don't even fully remember. Oh wait, I kind of remember somewhat, but not fully. Wait, I remember I did a page or two. Let me actually check. And 1, 2. Oh wow. Oh wow. I was almost done with that song. But then 1, 2, 3. 3 and okay, so the second song, it just didn't feel like me. It wasn't that I didn't like it, because I definitely did, but with me, I always try to write my music off of either something going on in my life or something I can relate to in some way, or just something fun. And so, like, that was the thing, and with it, I felt I always try to, like, make sure my personality's in the song, that the song, like, fits me perfectly in some way, shape, or form, or, and it just didn't. Like, I didn't see my personality in it. I didn't really find something specific about that stood out to me and, like, basically made me think of, like, my name or anything or my personality. So I basically ended up just putting it into it, and then I started working on another song. And at that point I had the title, and I like started working on the song, and I got like 3.5 pages done of it, and then I really, really liked the song. There was nothing specifically wrong with the song. But the thing was that it kind of got to where I kind of put down the thing. The song very much felt like one of those songs that like I make me a little more emotional and brings up things about like losing my crush, and I put down the rule recently, and I'm like trying my best not to like get emotional about it. I'm trying to like enjoy my life as much as I can and take every opportunity, because I feel like at the beginning I wasn't. And what I mean by that is at the beginning when I really started when I did the first 2 master classes, we're going back then, and like I was excited over the first 2. Like, don't get me wrong, I was so excited, but I feel like, well, the first one especially, the first one, I was excited about it, and then and like I was excited over the master class, but that day I was a little bit distracted in 2 ways. First up, like we had family coming, and that's amazing, and I basically never get family time, so I was so caught up in family time and enjoying that. But also on top of it, it kind of just came to the point where I feel like part of me was still like thinking about like losing my crush, and so I like kind of just didn't like fully embrace it and enjoy it to the fullest. And then kind of similar thing but without the family happened with the second master class, along with the Friday class that we had as a makeup class, because it's like a makeup class because Abby wasn't able to make it to the second master class. And so, yeah, like that situation, but then, and like, I feel like at the beginning, when I did Worldwide, when it first came around, because you have to consider in the first Worldwide, I basically never saw Abby. Like, I saw Abby maybe twice in that whole thing for like an acrobatics class thing. Versus, and that was kind of a thing, but I kind of just put down the thing of that I wasn't going to get sad about it anymore. I like, obviously still thinking about it, like, it's still, like, not, like, my most favorite topic, like, it's one of those topics that, like, still hits in a special way, just not in the way that it used to, like, before, or when I would talk about, like, it would just get to me, like, immediately, versus now, it kind of doesn't anymore. Like, it still, like, gets to me, just not in, like, the same, like, oh, like, sad way. Like, part of me is still, like, sad airplane. And, like, by the way, I wasn't, like, meaning, like, a cover-up word or anything. Like, there's generally an airplane going over, and that's the sound, and this is me pointing up. Because it's going over, so that's what the sound is, by the way. If you ever hear, like, a sound like that, it's an airplane. If you hear, like, that sort of sound in, like, one of my videos. But, so I kind of, at that point, just had to end the song, and so I wanted, like, something immediately, because this had been going on for months. Not months, I would say, like, a month or so. And then that led me to the idea of this song. And this is Glitter and Sparkle. And they're and so I started like writing it and stuff. Like I started with coming up with like some ideas and stuff in my head. Then like once I kind of had it somewhat put together in my head on what I wanted, then I started putting it on paper today, and then I kind of just from that point I started planning music video. And I knew there was two different so I started planning out the music video, and since I'm kind of at a point where like my dance schedule is busy and stuff, I kind of needed something that I didn't have to put like too much thought into. Like I had, obviously I want it to be good and I want to put thought into, but like something that like I can work around my dance schedule and make things work. So, on a very limited time schedule, because I basically gave myself till Friday, but my plan is, I don't know if I'm going 100% do this. It's based, I'll let you know soon. It's based off of how fast I pick it up and how fast like I can put it together and see how things are going. And if I pick everything up and I make things work and everything's like set, then I'll film it and post it on Friday. Like I'll film it, I'll record it, I'll like go through, make sure everything's how I like it, maybe do a little bit of editing, and post it on Friday. But if things are going bad and not going great, then I will not post it until Saturday, and I'll do everything on Saturday and take Friday to like really finish it, get the finishing touches, get ready to film. Cause I am the type where I like filming it and then posting it on the same day. Like for me, I like it. It leaves you guys less time that you have to wait, and also it just turns out good. And I like it that way. Also partly because I film on the tablet, and so sometimes like this time I'm going with a new hack. So I'm gonna try, which is, and usually I end up like filming stuff, and then like I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna film it like a couple more times just to maybe like switch things up a little bit in each time and see what I like the best, what works the best for me and in my mind. And sometimes like that's hard because I film on the tablet. Everything goes into the storage on the tablet. Versus this time I'm gonna actually take a piece of paper. I actually have one up there, and I'm gonna write down the numbers on the piece of paper. So like what I'm gonna do, like write down, like I'm gonna make a bunch of squares on like the paper, and then I'm gonna put like a number down. And like write the numbers down. That way I know how many times I filmed that scene. That way I don't accidentally put a scene in there twice unless I specifically want it in there twice. But with this, I was planning out choreography and music video stuff. I haven't gotten to like plan out like wardrobe. I know I'm going like kind of simple, kind of casual maybe, but like maybe something like I'm going with like me, like a very much. There's gonna be like multiple. I think I'm gonna do like 2 different looks. So like one like a very casual, like everyday look for me, and one that's like totally me, totally like upbeat and my personality and like full out like, oh, like when I'm going full out on an outfit or something. And so that's gonna be like fun. And I don't think I'm gonna do too much of like makeup because I just don't generally wear a lot of makeup. Like I feel I don't like wasting makeup, if that makes sense. And because the music video has to be based off of me to match the song. So like I'm just not gonna, I may not even do makeup, and that's okay. But when I was planning out music video, and I planned out one scene which is very simple choreography. It's like really, really short. It's like a 30-second scene. And it's very, very simple choreography. There's one hard move in it, but that I am a trained dancer, and I do this one like it's a jump. And I do it all the time, and I'm very well trained at it, and I know it really well, so that's not gonna be an issue. But the choreography has to be so precise. With it, like the movements have to be precise, so that makes it a little more challenging. Because the thing is with dance is that there's some like choreography that's really, really simple and easy that doesn't have to be precise. So like you can kind of like almost like let me figure out, like in a way you can like make it not directly exactly where it's supposed to be, but like make it close. Like what I mean by that is like you do like your arms up or something, and like I snowflake down like this, or like we're gonna do like, and you watch it, you can, like if it's supposed to start way up here, and I accidentally started right here, no one can really notice. You know, like that's an example that's not actually in the choreography. Or at least not yet. I don't know if I'm putting it in or not. But like you get what I'm saying, like it can be a little bit off place as long as it looks good and people may not know the difference versus not saying you should do that. Always try to do exactly what you're given and make it like exactly how it's supposed to be. But if that happens every once in a while, like it's not as big of a deal as like messing up completely. And so like versus there's some like choreography that's like really simple choreography but it has to be precise. I like if you like I do like this. It's simple but it has to be precise. You have to like start out and you have to bring it in and then you have to make sure like your hands are locked and then push and then like separate and then they have to like be precise like this. And like you can't have like this like slightly up or slightly down. Like it has to be directly on. And then like come up and then you have to like do it very precise. Like one thing can't be off or else it like looks bad. Like see that just looks bad because you can tell like my hand was off placement and like things were out of place and then it just looks sloppy. Like you didn't even try. So yeah. Versus so that's the thing is that the choreography is so simple, but you have to hit every element exactly perfectly, and if it's not perfect, it looks like garbage. So that can be hard. And then on top of that, so I planned that out, and then I kind of just, for the rest of it, I knew there's definitely going to be some improv parts where some of it's just going to be improv. That way I don't have to worry too much about that sort of stuff, and I can just kind of like have a little bit left to do and get it done on time. And then, but then there's one scene specifically that is not like choreography. It's like one specific thing. It's one specific thing. That one, it can be hard to film though, cause like it's like one thing, but it's like one movement, but it can be hard to film because I have to nail it, and with it, there's so many things that can go wrong with it. And I'm like, I think I'll be able to nail it I think I'll be able to nail it, but knowing that, like, there's so many mistakes that could happen, and it's gonna be kind of hard. Because I feel like, as a dancer, or when I know I'm just like dancing in class, I do pretty good, and that's good. But like when I know like I'm dancing for something like Pacific, like the audition, I freaked out in my head at first, and then once I kind of like calmed myself down, I like just thought of like exactly what my crush would tell me, and then because he said it directly to me when I didn't want to sing, all 3 times. It was something similar, like slightly different each time, but like similar. But yeah, that's gonna be hard. And then there's one scene which is something, this is gonna be hard. Because it's planned out choreography. Tomorrow I'm actually gonna film the basics. I'm gonna film a little bit of it and then send it to a dance teacher. Because, like, to get their opinion on it, because it's something that I never done. It's a style of dance that I never done, and it's very hard because things have to be like Pacific, and like it's just a really hard style of dance, which is there's gonna be salsa dancing in it, and like yeah, like not partner like salsa, and it's just gonna be like I managed to kind of figure out like a dance that like can be done in more than one like person, but I managed to like make it. It's my choreography kind, but I managed to like make it where I can do it by myself as like solo and make it look good. And then there's another scene that can be really hard because it has a prop. Well, I'm gonna use a prop in the salsa dancing, and then and then I have an idea for one more scene, and that can be planned out. And then I'm gonna throw one more other scene, but that's gonna be just like one move. Peace out.